Bettendorf boys basketball going through some tough times this season, not letting the legacy of a fallen teammate, Jacob Hoffman, be forgotten. A single chair stands alone at every Bettendorf boys basketball game, honoring manager Jacob Hoffman, who passed away unexpectedly from a medical condition in September.
We talk about him almost every day. Every time we communicate and break it out in the huddle, we say Hoffman's name.
All right, let's Chelsea, go. Are we still doing the other intro too after this?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Hoffman.
Good job. And so, with these young guys going through, experiencing a traumatic event like that, it's important for me as a coach to be able to help them kind of communicate and get through that.
He's a legend, right? A legacy that will live on through all these guys. And that relationship wasn't fake at all. Like, these guys had his back every second of the way. He was a part of our team. Jacob felt the same way. There was no, oh, here's the players and the managers. He was a part of it just like any coaching staff, player on our team.
He cared so much, and there was, after every game or before every game, I mean, it was like he was playing on the floor. He had the same emotions. He had everything. Like, he'd watch as much film or more film than kids on the team that were actually playing, and I think it was just that the team, he wanted to beat everyone just as bad as anybody who was playing.
He always brought good energy to the team, fed well off each other. He always brought in stats after a game, let us know how he did, and just all-around good guy to be around.
Former Bettendorf head coach Curtis Clark felt called to bring on Jacob as manager because of Jacob's love for the sport. It just took some convincing first.
I called home and I asked his mom, what their financial situation was, and if there's any way that we could take a pause for four months. I was willing to call Dick's Sporting Goods to see if he could have his job back once after the season, and Mom was so supportive. She's like, absolutely, he doesn't need it. If he wants to do this, that'd be great. And I was immediately like, this is perfect. Match made in heaven. So I went to Jacob and said, hey, Mom said green light, and so the rest is history.
In the history of this program, I don't think we ever had a manager who requested to be added to our huddle film sessions, but Jacob did. And there was a point last year where he was like second on the team in the most minutes watched. And so he was just so compassionate and had competitive spirit, and that's one thing that I miss the most about him.
After working many of the Iowa basketball summer camps, Jacob was getting ready to become manager of the men's team next season.
After I talked to Fran about the passing of Jacob, he immediately remembered Jacob. He had an individual conversation at camp with Jacob, remembered it, and he was, coach, any way you could write a letter, and he was like, I'll be on a plane in an hour. Once I get off the plane, I'll have it to you, and he did.
Instead, that very same Carver Hawkeye floor became the lasting memory for many on Bettendorf state tournament run last March.
He kind of ran around there, acted like he was shooting shots, and tried to meet Caitlin Clark.
When we went to Carver, I don't think I've ever seen someone so excited to be on the floor as he was, and he was running around acting like he was shooting and stuff.
I remember Jacob walking in, and he was like a kid in the candy store. He ran around the gym, he made some imaginary threes and did the three sign, and he went over to Coach Fran's chair and acted like he was coaching and getting teed up, and so that was just an awesome moment. He was in his element, and that's something that will stick with me. I have the video on my phone, and I revisit it quite a bit.
I genuinely, totally 100% feel like he couldn't have been in a happier place, practicing on Carver Hawkeye Arena, going to the state tournament, having the success that we had. And his mom agreed. That was a conversation I had with her, that I had a little guilt that, the 3 hours every day after school she could have spent with him, and she knew how happy basketball made him too.
Jacob's presence on and off the floor continues all season, with his signature chair left empty.